Hello, welcome to Coffee with Jude. I don't have my coffee because I'm standing here in the yard. We're getting ready to go. We're leaving in a couple hours, flying out of here, going to Wisconsin for the next 6 months. We've been here in Arizona and everything's packed, even the tripod. So I'm holding this with my hand. I hope it's not too annoying. I found a video that I did a while back about Brenda Ueland, and it's filmed from the gazebo up north. I really was inspired by all the ideas she had about writing and how it brings out so much of the best of you, the essence of you. And so I hope you enjoyed this video this week, and I'll see you next week up at the lake. Have a wonderful week, and thanks for tuning in. Bye. Brenda Ueland, in her article Tell Me More, talks about the act of listening to others and compares this to writing. She says this is a way to tap into your creative fountain. By writing, you are giving yourself the gift of listening to good old me, myself, and I. This is precious. She says, sometimes, of course, I cannot listen as well as others. But when I have this listening power, people crowd around and their heads keep turning to me as though irresistibly pulled. It is not because people are conceited and want to show off that they are drawn to me, the listener. It is because by listening, I have started up their creative fountain. I do them good. Now, why does it do them good? I have a kind of mystical notion about this. I think it is only by expressing all that is inside that purer and purer streams come. It is so in writing. You are taught in school to put down on paper only the bright things. Wrong. Pour out the dull things on paper too. You can tear them up afterward, for only then do the bright ones come. If you hold back the dull things, you are certain to hold back what is clear and beautiful and true and lively. So it is with people who have not been listened to in the right way, with affection and a kind of jolly excitement. Their creative fountain has been blocked. Only superficial talk comes out. What is prissy or gushing or merely nervous. No one has called out of them by wonderful listening what is true and alive. So the point is that writing is the gift of listening to what is inside of you. It is the process of writing which gives value. You might dream of holding that completed book in your hand. That is good to have a goal in mind. But if this is too important, it can cripple you with doubt about the monumental task you have ahead of you. You must learn to love the process and the writing, and then one day there will be your book. It doesn't matter if it is tomorrow or 10 years from now. The process is the gem of discovery. You will learn so much about yourself. Dreams are good stuff to get us going. The reason I write is because I love writing. Red Smith, when asked if it was difficult to write a daily column, said, "Why no, you simply sit down at the typewriter, open your veins and bleed." This might imply that writing is hard, difficult, and painful. I think the only painful thing about writing is getting through the natural resistance of creating something new. This is why you need to develop a writing practice. Habit will get you busy writing. It doesn't necessarily become easier to sit down and write, but it does eliminate the waffling of making the decision to write. And if you don't sit down and write, there will be no words on the page. I don't think writing is difficult, and I don't think it's painful. People, they asked me if it was hard to write my book, Sunlight on My Shadow, because of the emotional content with the story of my secret teen pregnancy. I didn't find it hard. It took me 4 years to complete it, but the days I wrote new material were just filled with joy because I was getting my story down, and they were very good days. I felt like I was nudged to write that book, and so it was not hard. At first it was hard to remember the details from 40 years ago, but the more that I started writing, I started to remember more and more. It was almost like a rain on a spring desert cactus, making it come back alive. Because the more you trigger those memories from long ago, the sights and sounds and smells will bring back amazing memories, even if it's been a very long time. I write for the sake of writing because it is so meditative, fulfilling, and rejuvenating. It fills me up. I hope that you can get to the place that you love the process, because that is what will get you through, little by little, day by day. You finish your writing practice and you feel like it doesn't matter what happens the rest of the day. You've accomplished something. Don't get me wrong, not every day will be bells and whistles and filled with amazing words flying onto the page. Many days you might think this is a bunch of baloney. It is boring, it's not worthwhile. But even this writing is beneficial because you are tilling the soil. You are practicing. And only by putting down the dull things, as Brenda Ueland says, will the beautiful things emerge. Just keep at it, and you'll be amazed at what you might have some days down the road. I've written several children's educational books to include Times Tables the Fun Way, which teaches children to memorize the times tables with cartoons and stories. This book was published in 1992 and is still a bestseller on Amazon. This book is my bread and butter because it is a textbook or a how-to book, which seems to be the most lucrative. But what I love writing the most is memoir. And I love it because I've learned so much about myself in writing these books. I've written 2 memoirs. The first was published in 2013. That was Sunlight on My Shadow. The second was published 2 years ago, and that was South of Ordinary, which is a story of my backpacking trip in the 1970s with my ex-husband through South America, where I was gone for 1.5 years. I wasn't all that much of a risk taker or adventurer, but my husband was, so I followed, and so I had a lot of angst going back and forth, trying to decide if I should go on the adventure or stay behind, stay in my comfort zone.